there.
Hi there.
Ho there. Real welcome as can be. MITKUYMOUSE. Alright, welcome to part two of our Q&As with SeeYaReelSoon.
I don't know when the SeeYaReelSoon was coming in there.
I worked it in. So, we're going to continue to answer your questions here. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get started.
On to the show! Lisa asks, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa!" What first gave you the idea to start a vlog? Did you ever feel that filming your trips detracts from you experiencing the parks?
We get this question quite a bit, the second half quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first part is what gave us the idea to start the vlog?
Yes. So actually, it didn't even start as like trip vlogs. If
started as advice.
It started as just a channel about Disney advice. And I think I had a friend who was into YouTube and kind of introduced me to YouTube, and it seemed like, people were sharing cool information, and I was like, oh, what can we share information about? And Joe already was sharing information a lot with friends, family, and so we're like, oh, why don't we do a channel about it? Let's just try it, whatever.
Yeah, we're like, even if we can help a few people, it'll be great, because we go a lot, we know a lot. A lot of people, it's very overwhelming. Like when we go to new places, we get very overwhelmed with there's so much to see or do and know, and so we're like, we can try and help people out. Yep.
And then in December, we're like, oh, let's video or film.
And so we started in July 31st. So basically we started in August. And then in December that year we filmed our trip. Because we went in September, we didn't film that one.
No. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
As for taking away, there's two things you got to consider. One is that two things you should consider if you're going to video. One is not to look through the camera. So for example, if I'm sitting there holding the camera, I'm not sitting there looking through the camera. I'm just sitting here holding it like this while I experience whatever I'm experiencing. For the most part. I mean, sometimes I'll look through it, but for the most part, I'll hold it there and I'll just kind of quickly peek down to make sure I'm not completely looking at like this. Yeah. Or completely missing whatever it is I'm looking at. So if you can avoid doing your entire vacation through the camera, because that's not going to be fun.
No, you don't want to look through a screen while you're there.
The second part is to just be yourself anyway. You can't act like, I don't know, whatever you think people want you to be, or, trying to be funny all the time or whatever, because that's exhausting. You just got to be yourself and, have fun. And just not be, what do you call it either, when not be worried about what people are looking at you. Or one piece of advice that we got our very first day at Walt Disney World together stuck with us forever, and that was we were taking a picture in line at Pirates of the Caribbean, our first ever attraction together. And we were taking a picture and we kind of looked all nervous, and the woman in front of us said,
or the guy,
he said, "Don't worry, you'll never see any of us again. Don't worry what we think of you." Yeah. And I thought of that and I was like, wow, that's such a good way to think. Because I was like, these people that are, maybe judging me or whatever, I'm never going to see them again, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remember this trip for the rest of my life. So I'm going to, so what, he looks at me funny, but when I get home, I'll forget all about him and I'll remember how much fun I had. Yeah. And the vlogs have become just memories for us. So we really would hate to have them become false memories. We really want to remember how we enjoyed and who we were. Because, people change. And kind of see how we've grown up through the years.
So it's just really important to be yourself. And if you're doing it like us, if you're going on vacation, you paid a lot to be here. So you don't want to be anyone else or constantly be thinking about the vlog and what are people going to be thinking. You really want to just be in the moment, thinking about what you're doing and trying to enjoy it while you're there instead of constantly thinking about, okay, how am I going to edit this later? Oh, what do I need to do to make this exciting? That's not fun. No, it's not fun. At least not to us.
Right.
Not worth it. Yeah.
It's still vacation.
So I hope that answers your question.
Kay asks, how do extra fast passes work? And it was in all caps, so she really wants to know because the rest of her post was not in all caps. So the way it works is you get to schedule 3 fast passes in advance, and after you use those 3, you can go to a kiosk in the park, and if there are any additional fast passes that have not been used by anybody yet, you can take them. So they're not typically the best fast passes. Like, you're probably not going to get, you know, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Toy Story or Soarin', Test Track, on Elsa. But you'll be able to get one from any, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, Small World, Buzz Lightyear, all those. We use them a lot on Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. Typically your high load attractions, rides that never stop moving. Buzz Lightyear is one. The Speedway, even though it's not the same way, but Spaceship Earth. All those things where they're constantly just loading people. Yeah. And, you know, after you use that 4th one, you can go again and see if there's a 5th one and a 6th one. So that's one reason people say not to use your 3rd fast pass for Wishes or a nighttime parade, because you'll never get that 4th or 5th fast pass. Which in the summer, if you can get 5 or 6 or 7 fast passes, it can really help you get a lot more done. Right. In September, maybe not so much. But I guess you don't really need a fast pass with the fireworks in anyway. It's less crowded.
Right, yeah, true. Allie says, I always wonder how you get the front of rides majority of the time. Do you guys just ask, or do you magically just always get the front row? We're magic.
Magically.
Magically?
And as you know, all magic comes with a price. I love me some Rumple. Get up here. Alright, we do ask to be in the front, and you can use usually a separate line. So when you get to the person that says, how many people in your party? You say, I have 2 people and we would like to be in the front, please. And he goes, no problem, come off to the separate line for people in the front row. Yeah. Or you can say, 2 people for the back, please. And usually they just send you there because not as many people wait for the back. Yeah. The middle's usually not what it's geared for.
If it's crazy busy and they don't, like, you can tell they don't have like a designated area, sometimes we're like, oh, we'll just grab whatever. But a lot of rides, they get the question a lot, so they have something already set up, like
Rock and Roller Coaster, Expedition Everest both have areas for front row people. And if you do get put in that separate line, it just means you have to wait for the next train. So once a train comes, they take somebody from the line of people who want to be in the front, they go to the front, and then they fill the rest of the train. And then the next train comes and there's somebody else from that line who wants to be in the front. So you may have to wait 3, 4, 5 trains if there's a lot of people on that line, or if there's nobody in that line, you don't have to wait. Yep. Kelly asks, how much do you budget for dining per day since you don't have the dining plan? So that's all going to depend on your eating habits, if it's mostly table service or quick service. We typically know we're going to do 2 quick service meals a day and probably a snack or 2. Yeah. Because we usually do a snack for breakfast and then maybe a snack throughout the day, and then we'll have a quick service lunch and dinner. So a quick service meal is typically about $12 a person. So we can say about $25 for a meal. So that's 50 plus snacks. You're looking at like 60, $65 a day. And you can budget a little higher if you want to do table service meals. Less if you're doing less.
Yeah, because sometimes we do kids meals.
Yeah, if you do kids meals, those can be cheaper.
Somewhere around there.
Or you could snack around them.
That could add up though. Snacks can be
and they're so
expensive
small
around the
usually.
world. Yeah.
Courtney asks, do you feel as if the Disney parks have pushed your palates? We would love to watch you explore new foods as you walk Epcot or Animal Kingdom.
Joe's a picky eater.
I am a really picky eater. I like me some chicken fingers, pizza, hot dogs, and some salads.
Simple eater, not picky.
Simple. Childish.
Anything you'd see on a kid's menu.
And I don't eat any seafood. I don't eat cooked vegetables. It's really tough to find stuff when you go out to eat like that.
Yeah, we're not foodies, but certainly you can absolutely be a foodie at Disney, so there's a lot to enjoy. But we have our favorites, our classics, and we pretty much stick to those.
And the problem with me is if I push it outside of what I'm comfortable with, I'll be sick. And probably. So the rest of the trip won't be fun. So it's very nerve-wracking for me to try new foods.
That makes sense. I got one for Joe. Brad wants to know, what's Joe's top 3 wrestling matches?
I don't know if I can name my top 3 matches.
All right, not matches then. Who are your favorite wrestlers?
I would say my favorite wrestler of all time is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite current wrestler is Dolph Ziggler. And if I had to throw a third in there, it would probably be... The Rock.
Another question we've gotten quite a bit. I have one here from Justine, and she's wondering, would you ever do a Run Disney race?
We scheduled one once. We just didn't get to go down and do it, right? Is that what it was? We had to cancel that trip before we got to go. It was we were supposed to do the Expedition Everest 5K.
Is it retired
It was in May.
now?
I don't know.
Oh, we were really excited. I know, I forget.
And we're down there right now during the Food and Wine half marathon.
No, we literally looked at it, but we were too late.
We have to schedule them too far in advance for the way our schedules work. We don't book our trips that far in advance for non-refundable, because I think they're non-refundable. Because usually we'll book Disney trips all the time, and then we just cancel most of them because we can't, stuff comes up. But if it's non-refundable, it's really hard for us to do that. Especially because they're expensive. Mm-hmm. But I'd love to do one, maybe like a 5K.
Yeah, I know, and the half marathon, that would have been
Or a 10K. I could do a 10K. I think that's as far as I push it.
So maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe someday. Kensi wants to know, what kind of hobbies do you two enjoy, either Disney or non-Disney related? What do you do when you're at home?
You probably have stronger hobbies than I do.
I like to do puzzles.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
And I like to play PlayStation 4.
Yeah, just one game.
I play Madden, and I play MLB.
That's it.
That's it.
So whenever it's kind of that like season, he'll play them.
Like I'm really in Madden right now.
Yeah.
And then in probably a couple months I'll be done with Madden.
Yep.
And then I'll be in baseball for like the months of April and May.
Yeah.
And I'll be done with that. But
hobbies for me, I am a tea connoisseur. I love to try different teas. I like to drink them and just like make it kind of a routine. So I would say that's kind of a hobby.
And you like to read?
I like to read. Yeah, I like to do puzzles. We've been so busy, I feel like all my I don't have any hobbies anymore. I like to edit videos.
Yeah, that's really what a lot of our time is editing videos. Yeah, if we're not at work or eating. Okay, Erin asks, we are renting a car when we come to Disney World. How hard is it to navigate around Disney and out of the airport? So, if you have a GPS, it's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. We use the one on our phone.
Yep. The only thing is usually, sorry.
Okay.
Is that your car is in a
garage,
and we find that our GPS takes forever. And I'm pretty sure there's an exit you have to take pretty quickly once exiting the garage. So if there's a way that you can actually look up the directions beforehand and just have a couple of the directions handy as you wait for your GPS to catch up.
Yeah. And then once you get out, I mean, the roads, did we say this before? I feel like I said this before somewhere. Maybe it was just people we meet, but Disney roads compared to roads in New England are like, because they're, in New England we have these on-ramps that like you literally are on the on-ramp and then you're right in traffic. And it's like you have to get 0 to 65 miles an hour in like 10 feet.
Right.
Whereas at Disney World, you get on them and then your lane is an on-ramp. It's just, your on-ramp becomes a lane and then you merge like within the next half mile, which is awesome. Maybe it's like that where you are and you're used to that, but to us, the roads were so spacious, they're well marked, and it's just easy to navigate everywhere. I like it a lot. It's so much easier for me to drive there than at home. The one thing I will say is that if you do plan on renting a car, make sure you understand your rental cars company's toll policy. Because all the different rental car agencies use different toll policies. Some of them automatically like enroll you in it, and they charge you $15 a day for your entire trip, unlimited tolls if you go through one toll at any point on your trip. So let's say you're there for 8 days and you go through one 75-cent toll. They charge you 8 days at $15 a day, so it's like you're paying $120 just to go through one 75-cent toll. Other ones charge you $3.95 a day for your entire trip, plus the cost of your tolls. So if you're going for a long trip and you don't plan on using the toll system much, that can be something to avoid. Just pay cash and don't use their toll policy. Other ones charge you like $3.95 on days you use the toll, plus your toll. That's the ones we usually will only use those if we do use their tolls.
Right, and they do have like, in most cases, they have like a turn it this way if you want the toll on or off. Yeah.
And they don't accept Easy Pass. It's Sun Pass in Florida, so you can't bring your home Easy Pass if you have Easy Pass like we do. Alicia asks, are you guys into the show Once Upon a Time? If so, who are your favorite characters?
Thank you so much for that question, Alicia. We really appreciate it.
Well, dearie, my favorite character is Rumpelstiltskin. And I also love the evil queen, Regina.
Yeah, I love Regina.
And Rumpelstiltskin.
No, I don't like Rumpelstiltskin. I like Regina. And I like... probably Prince
I love
Charming.
Hook, too.
Yeah.
I like Prince Charming.
Yeah, it's Charming.
I don't like Charming. Nope. Hook, the evil queen, and Rumpelstiltskin. They're all villains.
Yeah, really?
But they're all really awesome. Especially Rumpelstiltskin. And Regina.
And there's one episode that just came out and we watched it already.
Yep.
But now, it's so hard because before we watched it on Netflix, so we
binge watched it before.
Binge watch it. Now
we
we're
watched like 6 episodes in a day, and now we have to wait like a week between episodes.
Oh.
That's why I usually don't watch shows until they're completely over, so I can just binge watch the whole series. And I feel like you don't forget things.
Yeah.
Like you just, oh yeah, I remember that.
Right. I just watched that. Yeah.
That question came with a prize. To Ashley. And the rest of the viewers who are probably like... So Michelle and 40 other people would like to know, why don't you guys ever go to Downtown Disney?
Oh yeah, we do get that a lot. Well, now it's not called Downtown Disney.
Disney
That's why we don't
Springs,
go to Downtown Disney.
Well, this was posted back in May.
Oh, right.
We don't like shopping, so that's a big part of it. We also don't really care for the restaurants.
Yeah.
You know? We're not into the bar scene or like really expensive signature restaurants or shopping. And that's the majority of Downtown Disney.
Yeah.
One of those 3.
We went recently in August and we had a good time.
Yep.
We've been before.
And we bought 3 Tsum Tsums or whatever.
Yeah.
That was our haul.
Mary Ann says, at Magic Kingdom, have you ever come across the talking garbage can in Tomorrowland? Yes, we have.
Rest in peace, Push. Rest in peace. Push is no longer around. Disney gave him the old axe.
He might have just retired and...
Nope, they gave him the axe.
I think he retired and just was now.
He went to a farm.
He
went to a farm.
Oh, went to a farm.
Upstate.
Okay. Yeah, so that's
a lot of people loved Push.
I know, he was fun. Yeah.
He was a little garbage can that was like, he would move around and talk to you and you were like, I can't put my garbage in him, he talks.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't. Now there's just garbage cans.
I know, it's weird. Sometimes we'll like, Push? Oh, no, okay.
So if you ever see someone talking to a garbage can, they just think they're talking to Push.
Just let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
Let it be. Rachel asks, I'm planning to hit Chippendale's campfire in August. How early should we arrive?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry.
Rachel's trip is already come and gone.
How did that go? Did you get there?
But if anybody else is looking at going to the campfire, we would get there probably. So the if you go online and Google it, it'll tell you what time it starts that time of the year. And then I would probably get there a good hour beforehand.
You might find you're the only one, but
they fills up fast.
Middle is like the best. So, and there's only like 5 people who can sit on that, so it's good to like kind of be there early.
Yeah, and it does fill up very fast.
We grab a snack, or maybe we might grab food on the go, and we'll eat it while we're waiting.
Yeah, usually we'll stop at like Meadow Trading Post or one of the places on Fort Wilderness, and we'll get some food. And we'll bring it over there and we'll kind of enjoy a little snack while we wait, and then they do the campfire and then they do the movie.
Make a full night of it. Yeah.
If you're staying at a Disney resort, you could also ask your concierge what they recommend. If you know, they'll know the exact time it's supposed to start, even if you're not staying at Fort Wilderness, and they'll tell you. Sure. Yeah, so.
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. Okay. Allie asks, Joe, how tall are you? And this is actually a really good question because when we do come across other people that recognize us or have watched our vlogs before, their first reaction for a lot of them are always, oh, you guys are tall.
I'm 6 feet even, which isn't that tall, but
I'm 5'8", so I'm pretty tall. Yeah,
So the reason she wanted to know, though,
I didn't know
was her boyfriend is 6'6" and concerned about being able to ride the Disney roller coasters safely. I'm only 6 feet tall, so I can't answer from a 6'6" person. But most of the rides, they have a test car that you can kind of get in before you get in line to see if you'll fit. But I would assume at 6'6" you can fit, but I can't guarantee it.
Catherine asks, when is the best time to use fast passes? Morning, afternoon, or night?
So there's a couple of things that could determine that. So if you're park hopping, I would use them at your second park. So if you're going to go to Magic Kingdom in the morning and then go to Hollywood Studios at night, set your fast passes up at night at Hollywood Studios. If you're planning on staying at one park all day, I would schedule my fast passes if you're getting there from, let's say you're there from open to close. I would have my fast passes scheduled probably between 11:30 and 5, 11:30 and 4, probably somewhere in there. So that way you can get your fast passes out of the way when the lines are the longest, because that's the hottest part of the day, the longest lines. And then after that, you can probably get another fast pass, especially at Magic Kingdom, for another ride.
And of course, if you are there at Rope Drop, you don't want to use your fast passes right away because there are no lines. So you want to take advantage of that and use your fast passes, as Joe said, when the lines are the longest. Georgie says, sorry, Joe, but my question is more geared to Ashley. Ashley, where did your love of Mr. Donald Duck begin? Has he been a favorite since you were a little girl? Any good stories? And yes, there is a story behind why I love Donald so much.
Mexican Donald.
Yes, it actually started with Mexican Donald. And it was when we went on vacation as a family when I was 10. And my brother, my oldest brother, Chuck, actually loved Donald Duck, and he always wanted to find him and take pictures with him. And this trip, we could not find Donald Duck anywhere, and we spent the whole trip trying to find Donald Duck. And then, like, on the last day, we were like, sorry, Chuck, like, this isn't happening. We're never gonna find Donald. And we were at Epcot, and I think it was like we were walking out of the park to go home, and we were walking around the corner of Mexico, and then we were like, there's Donald. Yeah, there's Donald. He's Mexican Donald. Let's do it. And it was just like, we were like so excited. We're like, oh my God, it's Mexican Donald. We found Donald. And then I had a cast at the time, and he literally had a written conversation with me that I have like in an autograph book. He's like, how did you get hurt? And he was like, it was so cute, and I like loved it. It was perfect. So ever since that, I fell in love with the duck. The story, sticking to it.
Do you know my story of how I love Dale?
I do know the story why you love Dale.
Do you?
I don't know if they do. You should tell it.
Have I ever said it? So when I was little, we went to the Grand Floridian or the Contemporary for a character breakfast or something, yeah. And apparently back then, you could have Captain Hook and Mr. Smee at your character meal because, you know, why terrify children while they're eating meals? So I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm going to have my cereal, and out comes Captain Hook and Mr. Smee, and Joe goes, Wah! And so they had to bring me out like of the room and into a like weird area of, the restaurant and where I could be alone, and they could, calm me down and be like, no, Joe, it's okay, he's not gonna hurt you. And I wouldn't listen to them. And then around the corner came Dale. And Dale cheered me up until Captain Hook walked by one more time and scared me again, and then Dale came right back to cheer me up again, and then I was okay. But so Dale was very nice to me. Helped me in a very troubling time in my life.
And is there a reason you don't like Chip, Joe?
Yes, because he's not Dale.
They have a fun frenemy relationship. That is pretty funny. So those are all the questions that we could answer. There were about 600 or so comments when we had thrown out this question for you guys back in May. So we couldn't get to all of them. Might do another one in the future, but for now, hopefully we've answered most of your questions.
Yeah, we just gave you 2 videos. Q&A.
Yeah.
We hope to get to more of your questions another time, but for now,
until next time, see you real soon!
Start in the middle. Here we go, Joe. Round number 2. Please remember, Joe, this time I am going to cheat at the game.